5 years ago in April 2020, I introduced my very first cardboard airport for kinder planes. Since then, I've built a couple more cardboard airports, and in today's video, we're gonna be reviewing each of them, going over all of their different features and how I've really improved over the years in building, cardboard airports. As stated in the introduction, this is my first cardboard model airport. It's literally cardboard, like, bruh. That's literally just cardboard. My newer ones were made out of different paper materials, but this one's just straight up cardboard. So I don't know how much more cardboard an airport can get than this one. This one is supposed to be a rendition of Tokyo's Haneda airport. This model airport is in 1 to 1,000 scale, so it's meant for, really small model planes. Those models being kinder planes, like the ones that come in kinder eggs. I mean, no wonder one of these planes is literally Kinder Airlines, which is pretty cool. Would you fly Kinder Airlines? Let me know down below. Anyway, for my very first attempt at a homemade airport, I think I did a pretty good job. Although it's not spectacular looking, I think I did a pretty good job for, the materials I had. I literally, look at these jet bridges, they're just pieces of cardboard glued together, and somehow I made it look pretty realistic. Also, I decided to add this really random door. There's really no purpose to this random door. I don't know why I added this, but now I think the coolest part about this airport is that it's got a bit of an interior as well. We can actually remove the entire roof, and there we have the complete inside of the airport. We've got things like a lounge, some more seating areas. I kind of put in like this cool floor design. If you look really closely, those are actually stairs that lead to the gates, which I think is actually just really cool. And that's why I'm still pretty proud of this airport, even though it's 5 years old at this point. You can see I added some advertisements for Tokyo Olympics. See, I built this airport during the pandemic, so I put these advertisements in there before the Olympics even got postponed, so I didn't know that they would be taking place in 2021. Also, we've got some cardboard palm trees. I'm pretty proud of my cardboard palm trees. I think the thing that makes the interior of this airport look really cool is how it has like 2 levels. There's a bit of a staircase. These stairs are just pieces of paper, and I think that's the best part about it. It's just so screams homemade. And then of course I decided to let's just put the roof on back there. I decided to add on a runway, and it looks like, oh, that's kind of falling apart there. I don't know what that is. I think I spilled some water or something. The addition of the runway is really cool, but it really just makes it really awkward to carry this thing around. Like, taking this thing to the table was really awkward. As many of you have probably noticed, there's a bit of a wire connected to the runway. That's because I've got a LED strip here on the runway. So yes, the runway does light up. Let's just light that up right now. See how it looks. Trust me, it's really bright. And there goes my vision. It actually doesn't look that bright on camera, but trust me, in real life, you don't want to look at this thing. It's like looking at the sun. It actually hurts your eyes. Probably wasn't too smart of me to use a genuine LED strip for the runway lights, but still, I mean, at least it has like a light function. Now, the main terminal kind of did have a light function. You can see I have these skylights, and I would like stick a flashlight in here, and
previously on Ice 7-Eleven.
it would, light up the main terminal, but it's kind of goofy way to light up the terminal. You can go check out the original video that I posted of this airport 5 years ago to see that light function with the flashlights, but it's not really that special at all. We've got a lot more interesting light functions to see. Speaking of light functions, here is my other, it still works. This is my homemade model of Chicago O'Hare International Airport, specifically their Terminal 5. I built this model airport in 2023. Well, I finished it in 2023, but I started it in 2022 took about a 5-month break and then just grinded it out for a month and finished it. So personally, I really like this airport. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's kind of just like a cutout of Terminal 5 on this relatively small just piece of cardboard platform that we've got here, but it just looks really nice overall. It's really the definition of clean when it comes to model airports. The lighting makes it look really nice as well. We can obviously light up the inside of the terminal there and a little bit of light on the apron as well. I must say the jet bridges are much better than yeah, these are probably my favorite jet bridges of all 3 of my model airports, but they just look the most realistic and they're completely handmade. This entire airport is completely handmade except for this. This is just a battery pack for the lights, but you know, I covered it up in paper to make it look like a little warehouse kind of building, which I thought was pretty creative. Something that's definitely better on my Chicago O'Hare airport is the apron. I mean, it just looks pretty smooth and, you know, somewhat clean compared to, you know, what is this? You know, it doesn't look that bad on Tokyo Haneda Airport, but it just really makes it look bad when you compare it to this. I completed this airport almost 3 years after my Tokyo airport, so the difference is honestly pretty staggering. I didn't add a whole lot of detail into this one, but overall it's just really clean, and I think that's the best part about this one. Now, very similar to my Tokyo airport, you can actually remove the roof for this one. And it even includes little kind of pegs, so the roof is actually attached to the building when you take it off, which is actually very, very much unlike this. If there's like an earthquake, it's probably not gonna, it's probably gonna cave in. But yeah, this one's just kind of, you plop it on. This one's actually got, you know, pegs so you can insert the roof into the proper place so then it doesn't come loose in an earthquake. And what is this guy doing here? Anyway, here's the inside of Chicago O'Hare, which also keeps up with the kind of clean vibe we've got going here, the, you know, modernist white looking vibe we've got going here. This light pack is actually from 2016. I don't know how it still works. I haven't replaced the battery. My Chicago airport also includes a lounge, which I think is probably my best lounge. I only have 2 lounges, this one and that one of course, but this one looks probably more realistic. And then the main section, we've kind of just got more seating areas and this like circular thingy with like security cameras on it. I don't really know what it's for, but it's like cool and stuff. This airport definitely just keeps up with like a, you know, the clean vibe, the modernist vibe, and that's what's kind of cool about this one. But speaking of that, let's move on to our last model airport. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you've probably seen a lot of footage of this one. This is Singapore Changi Airport in Singapore, Southeast Asia. This model airport was constructed completely in January and February of 2024. It only took 2 months to build, but trust me, I was using every single day to build this model airport. Now, this airport has so many features, it's just gonna take a while to go over all of them. Let's just start off on the apron here. I would honestly say the apron looks a lot better and almost more realistic than Chicago. Just because the fact that like the squares are like smaller, it kind of makes it look more realistic somehow. Maybe that's just me, but let me know what you think of the apron, I guess. The jet bridges for this airport, I'm not very proud of. I actually recently fixed these jet bridges because they were too low and they didn't actually fit properly on wide-body aircraft. So I recently had to kind of renovate the jet bridges for this airport. And the reason they had to be fixed was because I was completely rushing when I was building this entire airport, and I made a pretty simple mistake there. So I spent a week on these O'Hare jet bridges. I'm pretty sure in Singapore's airport, I spent about 2 days on these jet bridges. So while they do look pretty good and pretty realistic, O'Hare's, in my opinion, are just better. So right here, we've obviously got the main terminal building, which does include some seating if you can see in there. There are a couple seating areas. I can't take off the roof though, but that's okay because we've even got some like roof designs, like solar panels and some ventilation, which I think looks very realistic, really helps it sell it, you know. Right here we've got the parking garage. I honestly love this parking garage. It might be one of my favorite parts of this airport, especially this. I don't know what you call these things that you like drive up to get to the top floor of the parking garage, but I don't even know how I built that. It's a small detail of the airport, but it's a detail that just makes it look impeccable, you know. Obviously we've got the train line right here. This is the SkyTrain of Singapore Airport. We've got a little passenger bridge right here that travels from the car park to the Jewel, which we will check out later. But you can see there's a lot of roads here, obviously because this is like the main section of Singapore's airport. I'm pretty sure this road is actually called Airport Boulevard, which is, you know, a fitting name. The boulevard itself looks really great, I think. The one part I don't think I did a very good job is the air traffic control tower. It looks kind of, yeah, you can, there's probably a lot of adjectives you could use, but, and of course that's because I was very much rushing the air traffic control tower because it was literally the last thing I needed to build to finish this airport, and of course I was trying to finish this on time, so. Anyway, next to Airport Boulevard, we've got the Crown Plaza Hotel, which honestly is also one of my favorite parts of this model airport. I did a great job building this hotel. Of course, you can see another passenger bridge that goes from the hotel into the Jewel, and I got some more roof details. And there's the SkyTrain. Like, there's the little SkyTrain. Yeah, it's not a very functioning train, but that migrates us over to the other apron. Yes, this airport is so big, it's got 2 aprons, but overall that's the Singapore Changi airport for you. Now you may have noticed that I added on a little bit of a detail to the sides here. I added on this wall with the Singaporean flag, which honestly I think I was kind of debating doing. I don't know if it looks any good, to be honest. Please do let me know if the Singaporean flag on the walls actually looks good or if it just looks kind of weird, because I really couldn't decide if I liked it or not. Also, you guys probably didn't notice, but I added some new grass here. The airport didn't formerly have grass there because I actually ran out of grass when I was building this airport. The last pieces that I had to do were building these, you know, walls and adding the last of the grass. So I finally did that. So this airport is pretty much complete. Now, for those of you who don't know what this big glass orb is, it is the Jewel. And if you look on the inside here, it's basically this little garden area in Singapore's airport, which is really cool. And it's also a big shopping mall in real life. And the main feature of the Jewel is the waterfall. Okay, it's kind of spilling, but oh geez, okay, that's not good, that's not good. So it looks like the Jewel's having a little bit of a flood right now. Once I clean this up, we're gonna check out the airport lights. Hey, we got the waterfall to work. This is the Jewel, folks. This is the Singapore Changi Airport Jewel. Now, if you saw my construction video of this airport, you probably saw that the waterfall used to be able to light up. I can't do that anymore. The light kind of got fried by the water. At least the waterfall still works. And yes, by the way, I did turn the lights on if you didn't notice. The apron has these very nice floodlights, which in my opinion make this airport look extremely realistic. As you can see, there's also a couple of lights inside the terminal as well. And if we move over to Airport Boulevard, this is where the view gets the best. Comparing this airport to O'Hare almost looks like it's not even a comparison when you look at the difference between these two airports. I mean, and of course Haneda, while in size it kind of compares, not really though. It's really just the runway that adds on size, but I think we can all basically tell that Singapore is the final boss of home-built model airports. Like, I'm not one of those losers who buys the plastic terminals. you're not a loser if you buy plastic terminals. At the end of the day, when it comes to which airport is the best, it's probably not really a question. Of course, I make this video every year to celebrate the anniversary of my very first cardboard model airport, that being Tokyo Haneda. So I'm very proud to say that this thing is still in one piece after 5 years. But overall, when it comes to all 3 model airports, they're all great in their own aspects. Some are, above and beyond, and some are a little bit more, humble. Do let me know what you guys think of my cardboard airports down in the comments section. I obviously put a lot of work into these, so would highly appreciate just a simple like and subscribe to the channel. Overall, these are my cardboard model airports. Thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one as always.